Collaboration time! Come on, grab your friends, and let's all draw and have some fun. It's Blooper Toons, and I'm there too. Let's draw some stuff. It's collaboration time. If you couldn't tell by the amazing intro song, this is a collaboration with Blooper Toons. And me. Yay. So what we decided to do is redraw each other's YouTube icons in our own style or whatever, and then once we were done, we finished it up and inked it and everything, we sent it to the other person for them to color it. My icon is just a zoomed in version of a drawing I did one time, and instead of just drawing my YouTube icon, he drew the entire image, which is awesome. So, great job, I did not expect that. So the sketch of his avatar actually took me a while, because I wanted it to be really good, so I kept flipping it and messing with body parts and stuff to make sure that it looked all great. And you'll see in a minute the finished ink, and I actually really like it. And that's saying a lot for me. I usually am very self-criticizing. So basically I do all my inking in Paint Storm because it has a really nice stabilizer and just a really smooth brush. And because the ink is sandwiched between the sketch and the color, both of which I do in Photoshop, there's a couple steps you gotta do to get it all right. But back to the collaboration. I really like Blooper Toons. He's a nice guy. I commented on one of his videos and he emailed me the day after and said, "Hey, you wanna do a collaboration?" And I was like, yeah. He came up with the idea to draw both our icons, I came up with the idea to swap colors, and it was just a really nice talk. Plus, I live in the US and he lives in Australia, but we're somehow able to make time zones sorta managed. I actually had a lot of fun just drawing the pupils for the eyes. That was actually a blast. I just love how I got to select things and make perfect shapes. I'm happy with the way it turned out. I really like how it looks. Here's the before and after. So, yeah, I think I stayed true to the character all around, basically. So then comes his line art that I will be coloring. I really like the roughness, and originally I was going to go with a rough kind of splotchy coloring, but I decided not to do that. Now, he sent me his line art, and then 30 minutes later he said, "Oops, wrong file." That was the one with the sketch underneath it. And even though he sent me a cleaner one, I actually really liked this one and I kept it. It wasn't out of laziness. I could have easily repasted the line art over the same coloring. It was just, I liked the sketchiness, especially going with the rough line art. Now, at first glance, I hope I'm not just the only one that thinks this, but I thought he was kind of, doing something with his finger that was not so nice for PG channels. But it turns out it was his index finger, so yeah. I used the original color scheme for Hoggletopf, but I desaturated it a little bit because this style, I don't know why, just looks like it wouldn't be as saturated to me. Now, originally Hoggletopf had a metal helmet, but that little thing on the side coming out in front of his face next to his eye made it look like a leather helmet, so I just colored it leather and I actually really like the looks of it. The entire overall sketch is not what I expected. It didn't really look like his style to me, but I really like it. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's a cool style, though. And Blooper Toons, I have a question. How did you post, 10 videos and already get 35 subscribers? I think I've posted, 20 and have 17. But I'm not complaining. Thank you, everybody who ever subscribed to me ever. And I'm happy that you like my content. You can see I drew a little sun up there, kind of to be the light source, because usually I just wing the light source and say, oh, okay, I guess it's up here, and I'll just remember that. But drawing the sun really helped. Now, adding the stroke to the outside of the character, you see the thicker outline goes around the contour, was actually pretty difficult because it was really rough, sketchy line art. I put all the coloring into a group, copied the group, merged it, put it under the coloring, made it all one color, and then gave it a stroke. Here I'm painting in the background, and I thought he kind of looked like Bigfoot, he looked like he'd be walking through a forest. So that's what I did. I put him in kind of a forest setting. And basically, all of it from right here is just me, pulling levers and stuff and making it to where the color looks better. By levers, I mean the little knobs on hue and saturation. And I actually really like the way this turned out too. I added a white outline to the edge and I gave it some noise so it looked a little bit better, it was more detailed. And I like almost that fourth wall break where the character kind of comes through the outline. It looks really cool. His coloring looks really cool. I actually really like the look of it. It looks really good. The soft shading in the hair and the pants. and then it's kind of hard everywhere where it doesn't have as much texture. Yeah, I really like what we both did with each other's drawings. Thank you, Blooper Toons, so much for doing this. I had a blast, and hopefully we could do it again in the future. Well, bye!